Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Pointless Exercise podcast. We're going to talk about the Cubs with Oleg and Praz. So, as coincidentally, joining us here are Oleg and Praz.
Yeah, whoa.
See how that works?
That worked out
Special
real
occasion for us to show up.
well.
A day late. And we had to wait for the Cubs to win before we could.
Yeah. It was my fault. It was my fault. I went to see Death Cab for Cutie last night.
And I couldn't go on Monday. I actually went to the game. So if you want to blame anyone for the reason why they lost that game, also blame Ian Happ for fumbling that ball in the corner, but you can also partly blame me too.
He didn't just fumble the ball in the corner. Then it ended up not hurting them. But then he made a terrible play. He made a wild late throw home, and Ellie De La Cruz walked to third base with one out. It's like, okay, you've already fucked it up. Just keep him at second. And he didn't do it. But somewhere there's the Gold Glove Committee who's over there going, ooh. Another great play by Ian Happ.
I mean, still might be the best left fielder and base. That just doesn't take much.
He might not be the best defensive left fielder in his own division.
He's not the best defensive left fielder in his own team.
Probably that as well, too. But I know the Brewers are really hyping up what Isaac Collins is doing these days.
Oh, yeah, Isaac Collins, that guy.
That's fine. He can have it as long as somebody other than Ian Happ gets it.
Listen, we will make it a tradition that the team that the National League left field Gold Glove winner comes from finishes in second place in the NL Central.
Well, the Brewers have got to be the favorite for over the Cubs for the fifth best record in the second half now.
That's a good point.
They probably already won too many games. They're already overqualified.
You think? Yeah, all right. That's fair enough. I see what you're saying.
What are they're 44-16 in the last 60 games?
Yep.
Is that what I saw?
Is that right? Jeez.
Is that good? It's annoying.
Very annoying.
I don't think they're good. I guess they are good.
They could pitch.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way. It's the thing, the Cubs have, I think, a more talented roster, but they can't pitch nearly as well as the Brewers can. And that's a problem.
There's I was thinking about this. I don't know how many players the Brewers have who you would take over the Cubs, hitters. How many position players would you take over the Cubs starting?
Andrew Vaughn, the best player in baseball.
Yeah, the best player ever.
Well, let's see. We might as well do this. So first base would be Bush or Vaughn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm happy
with
Bush.
I still don't expect the deal with the devil will end.
Right.
He's not. He played. It's not like he didn't get a shot with the White Sox, and the Brewers have unearthed this unpolished gem. He sucked for 6 years, basically. He had one good year in 6. And it wasn't that good.
It might be. I saw something on MLB Network where they were kind of breaking down his stance, and it took a week for the Brewers to fix him. So he's not a 420 hitter, whatever he's.
We've talked about that before. That it could just be that the White Sox are morons.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
But what is a realistic, an improved Andrew Vaughn is what? Really? It's a 265 hitter with not a great on base and a decent slug, but but right now he's fucking hitting 480.
He's Lou Gehrig. Yeah. He's Lou Gehrig and Jeff Bagwell put together.
So who's second base for the Brewers? That's the great Bryce Terang.
Bryce Terang. That's a pretty close one between him and Nico.
No, Nico's a much better hitter. They're both really good defensive second baseman, but
it's funny.
Terang might have a little bit more power, but
in the head-to-head games, Terang has had some issues on balls that Nico wouldn't. So it's fuck him. Shortstop is not close. Although Joey Ortiz, I don't think has missed first base yet, but he doesn't really get there very often.
Right.
So that's Dansby.
Man.
Who's the Brewers third baseman? Is it still Jeff Cirillo? Is that who's playing?
Is it Wes Helms?
Andrew Monasterio? Is he still around?
I think. Yeah, I don't know. Who is the Brewers? Who is their third baseman? I think Joey Ortiz played some third base.
Oh, it's
Caleb Durbin. I think
Durbin.
Oh,
they got for Devin Williams.
Yeah,
he's just a fat little.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Matt Shaw.
Yeah,
Matt Shaw much more handsome.
Yep.
Left field, I'll take anybody over Ian Happ. So any warm body out there would be
Collins,
fine.
come on down.
Isaac Collins, all right.
Center field would be a conversation, except Jackson Trio tore his hamstring off his leg.
Yeah.
So that Pete gets that easily. I still would rather have Pete.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's not a conversation when Pete is doing as well as he has been. This past homestand notwithstanding, but
Right. And at right field, you got Tucker versus, I don't even know who do they have?
Yelich.
Whatever the revolving door. No, Yelich is their DH.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yelich is DHing for them and sometimes playing
Sal Frelick?
Yeah.
Frelick, yeah.
What's with all these tiny little white guys they've got running around?
Hey. We thought it was just the Cubs that built their team only of white guys, you know.
Brewers, yeah, but we got rid of the Cubs got rid of their tiny one.
That's true. That's true.
Matt Shaw's pretty tiny.
He is little. He's 5'8", maybe.
Yeah.
He's clearly he's second base sized, playing third base.
And then the catcher is the only position, right? William Contreras over whoever they got. Carson Kelly sucks now.
Yeah. And
Reese
apparently
McGuire,
Williams' broken finger must finally be healing because he's hitting the ball again. He had no power for most of the season because he was playing with a broken finger.
Yep.
I want to say that game, you know, the last game that Shota started, he had no home runs all year against left-handed pitchers, and then he hit 2 off Shota.
Yeah, Shota's just off that game, and he's been incredible the last 2 games since that Milwaukee start. So I think Shota's okay. But so my point about
against the Brewers. He was terrible against the White Sox. He threw fucking batting practice.
Yeah,
that's
really
what it was.
It was the
White Sox
he had.
Yeah, that's right.
He was
it was
pitching
the
with
White
a
Sox
lead
game.
against the Brewers. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
all right, William, see if he can hit this.
Yeah.
But
that's my point. Sorry, my point about the Brewers is that, like, when you look at the position players, there's like the Cubs are just a better team.
Well, hold on, we didn't get to one position yet. DH, you taking Yelich or Suzuki? I'm still going with Suzuki, but he's also struggled recently. Today, notwithstanding.
All right.
He just
Yelich struggles for 2 months. Yeah.
Craig gave him his magic day off yesterday, and today he's fixed.
Yes, his
and he gets another day off tomorrow.
His magic early August day off that he always needs. Like
and that's not even fair now because now the Cubs have Willie Mays Castro who can play any position.
Can play anywhere.
That's true. Brewers don't have a guy like that.
They don't. Actually, the Brewers' whole team is made out of Willie Castros.
Right.
There you go. Yes.
But that's so anyway, my point being is that I still don't I know the Brewers have been good. I don't understand. Like, I just can't figure out how they're scoring runs or they're just not that good of a team. They're middle of the pack in WRC plus. They're middle of the pack in OPS plus. They're just they're average on offense.
It's clearly ruddy-faced Mat Purphy.
Manager. Mat Purphy.
Although that was funny. Did you see the clip of him pulling out the pancake out of his back pocket?
The pocket pancakes, that was pretty cool.
There was a whole thing early in the season on MLB Network where they showed him eating the pancake, and then that's why they asked him.
Oh,
like he has it in there, like during the game, he will grab an extra.
That wasn't just hold on, sorry, that wasn't a bit.
No, he does it. He actually does it. So what he does, he said he started in spring training. He would get to the park and, like, especially when he was the bench coach, he'd get to spring training and guys like needed like somebody to hit ground balls to him or whatever. And he's like, shit, I don't have time for breakfast. He would grab a dry pancake, stick it in the pocket of his sweatshirt and go out and run guys through drills. And then when he got a minute, he would eat the pancake and he decided he liked that. And then he would go back, and so now he likes to keep. Oh my God! He keeps a pancake in. In fact, they said if you walk up to him like during a game, like the sideline reporter when they do a live thing, should just ask him. He can pull a pancake out of his sweatshirt.
Well, that's what they did
at any given time.
I thought, honest to God, thought it was a bit. Like that's what I saw was that.
I mean,
Sophia.
They're playing it up to be funny, but the reason that they're able to do it is because it's a real thing that he does.
Oh man, I thought it was just like a bit. It's not nearly as funny now. Like, it was hilarious, but I thought it was a bit.
He should do what Joe Madden did with his dad's hat. He should shove the pancake down the front of his pants, and then you can just pull that out. You can have a pants. A pantscake would be much better.
There we go. Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna trademark pantscake.
For any Brewers fans hate watching this, don't steal that. We're selling the hell out of that.
That's going on the list with the garbage family that owns the Cubs. Trademark. I own that one. I'll get this.
I probably owe you about $100 from saying that because I say that all the time.
You make up for it for what you pay for your subscription when you don't have to.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, not now. Now I've got a trial subscription until February. Or why are we talking about this? Never mind. But yeah. Anyway, going back to this, the Cubs are better than the Brewers. So everybody, calm down.
What are they? They're 4 out now.
3.
3.5. Right? But Brewers are up by 4 runs right now, so probably it'll wind up being 4.
It's over. I'm declaring it over right now. It's all Jed's fault. At least, though, we haven't seen the best of Mike Soroka yet. So once that kicks in.
This is very true.
Wait, what?
Hey, I thought I was seeing the best of Mike Soroka on Sunday night. Or Monday night it was.
You did. You saw the only 2 innings he's ever going to pitch for the Cubs is what you saw.
Yeah.
He's signed for next year, right? So he can spend that on the injured list after he gets his labrum fixed or his rotator cuff or whatever it clearly is.
It might be an option for next year. I don't think he's signed.
Ooh,
I hope for his sake it's his option. Because otherwise he's going to be rehabbing for free.
Here's one thing I'm wondering about too now. You know, the Nationals, like, they're famous for giving guys out a bunch of contracts and not insuring them. So I wonder if he needs surgery, is that all going to have to come out of Tommy Ricketts' pockets?
It would, because the Cubs inherited his contract. So it's up to the Cubs to do it.
To insure
yes.
Well, insurance.
Yes, but I'm just saying if it didn't come... I don't know when they say the contract is insured if it comes with insurance too. I would assume maybe it does.
It doesn't matter. He's an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't it. What Jed did at the deadline was malpractice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Kate Horton
correct.
Sue him.
Because I feel all along, like, as much as I like this team and they're fun to watch, I've always felt like, okay, this team is not good enough to win anything important in the postseason, but they have a chance at the deadline to fill a couple of holes and become that team.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything for now. Oh, he did get Andrew Kittredge, who pitched the fifth immaculate inning in Cubs history.
Yes.
Is that right?
So there's that.
Wait, that's it?
Sixth? I think there's six. They've only been tracking it since like the 70s.
The Cubs equivalent of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, where he's either amazing or he is giving up runs left and right, as was the case last night.
He was kind of funny today. He basically said, I threw all the strikes today that I didn't throw last night.
Hey, good sport, Kittredge.
And he had the Dude Abides hat on and standing in front of his.
Oh, did he really? I always liked Andrew.
Other than the fact he looks like a homeless person.
He does. It's great. He's great. I almost wish they would have gotten Andrew Chafin with him, because those two together would be. That'd be fun.
Does Chafin still have the Camaro parked out in front of Wrigley somewhere? Did he take that with him? Or he just left it double parked?
Apparently, I found this out not too long ago. The place that when he was a Cub where he would go to get it serviced at was like 2 blocks away from me. And I didn't know it at the time, but like I wound up taking my car there fairly recently. And like I saw a bunch of pictures on the wall of Andrew Chafin. And I'm like, damn.
There used to be a shop right across Sheffield. Wasn't there one? There was like this weird, like there was like an auto shop like right next to me.
There used to be like the car wash by like Clark and Waveland there.
Like, wait a minute, why is this here? I don't get it. This is the best use of this real estate. I'm sure the Ricketts long ago kicked them out.
There was one too where like the Clark Street Sports is on Clark, which apparently that's getting taken out soon now too. But yeah, that sounds familiar. That like there's a mechanic like right next to Wrigley.
We used to walk by it on our way, like we'd park and we'd be wandering around getting to the park, and there'd be like an auto shop.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you got to go somewhere. Let's see. When are you getting your car service? No, there's games all week, so you're not going to get anywhere near the shop. So no, you can't do that.
Exactly.
We're cut into business a little bit, I would think.
You think we're using this lot for customers, different kind of customers, but we're charging those people $40 not for oil changes, but just to leave their car here.
So, but the Cubs at the trade deadline, even if the Soroka, is that how you say it? He didn't pitch long enough.
Are you confusing him with former Cubs
Mike
spring
Soroka.
training invitee Mike Soroka, the used pitch for the White Sox? Yeah.
You know who Mike Soroka famously gave up a hit to in that spring training? Yeah. The only hit the guy ever got in spring training. Garth Brooks.
Oh. Wow.
I think that's a pretty good sign you're not making the team when you give up a hit to the country music singer.
Like the Cubs the Cubs really should have traded for Merrill Kelly. Like I think somebody pointed out that it was one of those, like they were so focused on trying to get that controllable starter and trying to make the big move that they let all these other. Charlie Morton would have been perfect. They need innings out of their starters.
But even those guys went late in the day. Like
right.
Like Jed could have I'm saying Jed had more opportunity to get them, even if he's distracted by Mackenzie Gore.
Yes.
At some point, you're like, okay, fuck, we've got to get somebody. All right, let's get Morton or let's get Kelly.
Also, like,
the other thing was,
sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, are there other people in the front office that can make these phone calls with other front offices? Like, can Carter pick up a phone for Christ's sake?
Yeah, but when Carter calls a team, it's 20 minutes of, did you know I went to Vanderbilt? I did.
Yeah, that's true.
And when I was with the Indians, did you know I was the first scout to see Jose Ramirez? Yes, Carter, we know. Did you call for a reason? I don't remember.
Did you want to talk about a pitcher?
Some guy messaged me and said the Cubs were deeply in on a Class A, and that was going to be their big move. And then 2 days before it's like, okay, well, they had two fucking days to make a trade.
Yeah,
that was true. None of this, and this idea, well, nobody got a controllable starter.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. Why couldn't you be the one team that actually paid what it took to get one? That should be an advantage, right? If everybody's backing off because it's too high, somebody stands in there and says, all right, fine, we will pay what it costs to get this guy. Instead, if they were flying off the board and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, the prices are going even higher. They weren't, clearly. Nope, they weren't going anywhere. And Jed was just like, we didn't want to break up our great young core. It's fucking malpractice to finish and have Owen Casey and Kevin Alcantara in your farm system.
I'm with you there.
I'm with you there. Ridiculous.
I will say, if it took Matt Shaw and Cade Horton, one or both of them, two guys who have contributed to the success of this team, I have a hard time parting with those guys, especially Cade Horton with how well he's been. Well, so if there was a pitcher out there to be had for, say, Moises Ballesteros, Owen Casey, and take your pick of a 15 to 20 prospect in the Cubs system, I wish that trade would have been made. Yes.
The thing about any of those controllable starters, and Judge should have known this going in. He should have there should have been a plan C, D, E, F, whatever, that you knew that they were going to get asked for a lot at the trade deadline. They're going to get asked for a lot in the offseason when you have 29 other teams that are going to want Mackenzie Gore also. Yep. So there's no incentive for the Nationals or for the Marlins to trade any of those controllable starters, or for the Twins to trade any of those controllable starters, because you're going to have 29 teams are going to clamor for those guys in the offseason. And so they're asking for Sean Horton, but you have to know that going in. And so you don't talk them down, fine, go out and get some guy who can take up the innings that Cade Horton's going to run out of.
And this whole idea, when Dave and I talked about it last week, I couldn't believe the Nats were actually going to trade Mackenzie Gore because they have an interim general manager. You want the interim to be the guy who makes that decision when you can simply wait until either you make him permanent or you hire somebody else, and you make the trade after the season. What was the Nats' rush? I don't understand what their motivation to have traded him at the deadline was. And it felt like Jed spent 3 days on the phone like a teenage girl with his feet kicked up behind him on the bed going, so what do you think? What do you think? Wouldn't he look cute in our uniform? It's like, call somebody else. They're not fucking serious, Jed.
Yeah,
maybe.
I do appreciate going after Mackenzie Gore. And I think this off season there might be a pretty good shot that the Cubs actually get him. And there's I'm not it's pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to get him. But like I said, you're at the trade deadline. There is a deadline. You have to get innings out of somebody. You have to get innings. And you made this point, you've been making this point all year, Andy, is that between Matt Boyd and between Cade Horton, you just don't know how many innings these guys are going to give you come September.
Good point, yeah.
And it's not that you're worried they're going to break down physically.
Right.
You just worry they're just going to get fucking tired and not be effective at some point.
Right.
And then and then you worry about it when Boyd has the start against Milwaukee where he can't throw a fucking strike. Is this it? But then he bounces right back and he's fine his next start.
Yeah.
Cade had a couple of bad starts. He's been good.
It's been amazing.
But you also play. There's a governor on both those guys. I mean, there's a reason Cade came out when he did today, because Craig has to he has to have innings left for him at the end of the year because he needs him now. He can't be like, all right, we can squeeze an extra inning out of him because we've got other guys. Well, they don't have other guys.
No.
Cade Horton, those are probably, well, in Shota, they've got 3 pitchers they can actually count on.
Yeah, what the fuck's going to happen in October? And that, to your point, you just need somebody who still could take, Charlie Morton is not a Cy Young candidate. He's not your number one starter. You're not getting a number one starter, but you're going to get somebody who give you 70 innings the rest of the year.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
I know his nickname is Ground Chuck. Is he still a big ground ball guy? Because that is the perfect fit for this team.
He was the opposite of the guy they traded for, where Morton had started bad and his last few starts were he had clearly figured something out and was good again. Where Soraka was throwing 4 miles an hour less than he had been, and the Nats gave him we'll just check. We'll give you a little MRI and check on it. And then they fired those over to the crack Cubs medical team, who probably looked at him upside down and backwards. Is that an elbow? What are we looking at? And honestly, I don't care if you trade 2 low-level prospects first. If you think, but he can't be the only guy you get.
Right. Exactly.
That's the problem. Like you can take a chance on him, that's fine. But if that's the only thing you do, it's fucking lunacy.
He's a guy who hopefully maybe you counted on 40 or 50 innings the rest of the year. Like Charlie Morton is just a professional pitcher. Like like I said, he'll give you a 3.5, 4 ERA, whatever. Like just go out there and throw 6 innings a day and you're fine. And if you have a bad start, you bring in then you've got Assad or whoever else is going to come back and you're okay. But it's like, but you got to do something else besides rely on Horton and Boyd. And they've been great, but like
the one that upsets me the most, honestly, is hearing that they were in on Adrian Hauser and then him going for the price that he did because, like, what the hell is Curtis Mead at this point? Like, he's he's basically a post-hype prospect that like the White Sox are just throwing a flyer on at this point. You could have easily made that move.
You were in on him, and some team stepped up and gave a better prospect than anybody expected. No, he went for at least what everybody expected and maybe even a little less. Yeah. And you still didn't get him.
Yeah.
But I always felt that would be the perfect fit because, like, I desperately wanted, like, for the past few years, ever since they got Craig Counsell, I've been wanting the Cubs to go out and get one of the guys that he had in Milwaukee. I mean, obviously, you got that with Colin Ray now. Mixed results there. But, like, someone who, like, had success with Craig in Milwaukee.
You got Taylor Rogers.
True, got Taylor Rogers.
Who had the only bad year of his career pitching for Craig Counsell in Milwaukee. It's the only time he's ever struggled.
Craig has learned his lesson with Taylor Rogers, and he was only pitching him in games that they're already behind in, so it can't hurt us.
He's still bringing in Caleb Thielbar first. It's like
and Ryan Brazier.
I got news for you, Craig.
God.
The other guy's better. Like you can reorder these guys now.
I don't like that's the kind of stuff that really, really good teams should care about. And the Cubs just need it. Like I said, the Cubs just need innings. Like the offense will come around. I think I have faith in the offense. Like I just can't believe they didn't get somebody to take some innings.
Well, would you have, if they had traded for somebody who for a starter, the expectations were you're going to make 10 starts between now and the end of the year, and you're going to get us 60 innings.
Yeah.
And at a 4 ERA, would that have been okay?
Oh, that'd be
you know who that
amazing.
was? That was that was in 2015 when they traded for Dan Herron at the deadline.
Sure,
they just needed innings, and they got him.
Yes,
he got 4 wins in the last 2 months, and he pitched 5 innings every time out, and they could get to the bullpen without blowing up the bullpen. They needed. You could have done. The bar was that low, even. Didn't clear it.
Yeah.
I was there for his last career MLB game up in Milwaukee, last regular season game of that season.
I get very skeptical when who did we hear from that teams were interested in Cade Horton and Matt Shaw? We heard it from Jed, which to me means it smells like bullshit. It smells like, I'm going to say they wanted 2 guys on our current roster that we wouldn't give up. Yeah. And the other thing would be then the prospect perverts have been telling us for years how great the system is. You're telling me that these other guys, they're so good that no one could be enticed by them?
Yeah, that was my other point.
It's like when you get back to, and I know Keith Law is just one guy, but I think this is a glaring thing where, the Cub fans were like, oh, God, don't trade Owen Casey. You can't trade Owen Casey. He's ready to go right now. And Keith comes out with his top 60 prospects, and Owen's not on it.
No.
And and somebody's like, where's Casey on the list? He's like, he's not on it, and he shouldn't be. He's not good.
Yeah.
And that's supposedly although I think most people think Ballesteros is their best prospect.
The parallel to that
probably
for
the
me
strongest
is,
tool of any prospect with his hit tool.
The parallel for me was the market told you what Justin Fields was when you could only get a 6th round pick. Yeah, it's the same thing here. The market told you how good Owen Casey is because nobody would trade you a pitcher for him.
A big league ready bat. We're told big league ready bat.
Yeah.
Then Jed in that ill-fated press conference right after the trade deadline, Levine asked him when do you think we'll see Owen? He's like, pretty soon. Like, we're just going to bring him up. And it's like, well, okay, well, why?
Yeah, what's that going to do?
Why are we doing that? Maybe when honestly, when the roster expands in September to 28 and you add 1 hitter and 1 pitcher, I would much rather have Moises.
Yes,
because I want that guy. Absolutely. I want a lefty back coming off the bench.
The one thing I was thinking about though was like right before the deadline. You remember Happ? He fouled that ball off his foot in Milwaukee, and I was thinking to myself like they maybe might call him up, if he's not getting traded, they may call him up and, have him be the replacement for Happ while he goes on the injured list or something like that. But
they ended up calling up Ballesteros. I think I think they telegraphed what was going to happen. They would just place Seiya in left and play Ballesteros at DH.
Yeah, which would have been perfect. Which kind of wish they would do that right now. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Happ went out today, right?
Because we're so close. So how come? It was so close to a Todd Hollandsworth situation there with Ian smoking one off of his shin.
He has just enough, much more coverage on his shin guard than Todd Hollandsworth did in 2004.
So that today to get out of the slump, they all wore the high. They all wore the high. Right? They except for Ian.
Is that right?
Yeah, he won't.
He won't do it.
And I said it's because
he's too small.
No, he's worried his wooden leg will dry out in the sun. He's certainly running like he's running on a wooden leg.
Yes, he is.
That's the good thing. He could smoke a ball off his shin. It's not going to slow him down these days.
Right.
He's not moving anyway. So what difference? Does
you might scuff up the ball even, and then I don't know what that would do. Yeah, it was just like the frustrating thing wasn't that like the Cubs didn't go out and get a top of rotation pitcher. All right, those weren't available. Whatever, but. Like to bring it all back home.
Yeah,
you need innings.
The moves they made, although obviously when the one starter you get, it pitches 2 innings and leaves with an injury, that's not great. They were all fine, right? Like
in principle, they were all great. Yeah.
Like yes, it's great to get another. I mean, Rogers was basically free because the Reds included him in the trade to get Cabrian Hayes, and the Pirates like, we're not paying this guy.
Yeah,
and so he's a very useful lefty reliever. That's a good trade.
Yes.
Kittredge was pitching very well after he had knee surgery early in the year, and once his knee healed up, he's pitched really well.
Yeah,
Willie Castro, you needed to upgrade that bench because your bench is terrible. Those are all really good moves, but then you missed. Then you stopped. You were one shy, and actually, I still think they're 2 shy.
Yeah.
They should have aggressively tried to upgrade this offense. They're acting like because they scored a shitload of runs in May and June that it doesn't. Are you watching the games now? Because it kind of feels like you're a bat short.
Yeah, those guys weren't like they're not going to get Naylor. They're not going to it was clear Eugenio Suarez wasn't coming, right? Like they just weren't
going to. Praz can talk about this. That haul was not that the Cubs could.
No.
The Cubs easily could have matched it, and maybe the Mariners would have just kept upping it.
Yeah,
but what he went for is a price that you look at and go, really? We couldn't fucking top that.
The first base prospect that the Mariners traded to the Diamondbacks for Suarez. In the top 10 first base prospects on MLB Pipeline, the first baseman ranked right below him is Johnny Long.
Yeah.
That you have the guys in your system to make that move. And maybe they wanted that specific guy, but there's other prospects ahead of Jonathan Long that, along with 2 other no-name pitchers that you could have moved off and gotten Suarez for.
So I agree with you. I think they should have more aggressively tried to make that happen. My fear is that even had they make it happen, they would not have used it in the most sensible way, which would have been not to have played Suarez at third, but to have Suarez DH'd and to have Seiya play more left field. Because Happ is giving you nothing. It's like, he's red hot right now. Well, how many fucking times this year have we been told he's red hot and his numbers still suck?
It was right before, every time it happens is right before we record. So that's
exactly.
He hit a home run today. He waited till they're up 4-0 and he hits a home run in the 8th.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like he always hits one before.
It helped maintain the 5-run lead after Palencia gave up the run in the 9th. Okay.
Palencia he just needed some work. He got it.
Right.
Whatever.
Pitch into the score. He threw a pitch to Ellie, 102, right on. He didn't get the call, and it's like right on the inside, right at the knees inside. It's like holy fuck. I mean, that's nobody can hit that. You can't hit that pitch.
Palencia's figured something out. I don't know if they made a tweak to his delivery or whatever. He's not walking guys. Like he is walking guys. He's good. He'll be a perfectly fine, good closer.
See, that's also the other thing they could have done. That's what every other team did when they finally fuck, we're not going to get a starter. You go out and you try to. It's like, okay, well, fuck, we'll get one more like fire breathing for the back end. We'll shorten the game on that end then. And the Cubs were like, oh, we're good.
Yeah, Helsley didn't really go for that much, right?
Helsley, I don't think.
Yeah, I know the Cardinals
aren't trading him like that.
But Duran, the Phillies gave up 2 really good prospects for Duran. 2 guys who the Cubs
was one of them.
Didn't have. Yeah, no. the catcher.
Yeah, it would have been more like Bednar or
because Bednar would have been
trading. You also weren't trading for a guy to become your closer.
Right.
You were looking for an 8th inning guy, so you could take. But they were good.
Who else did
because it would be nice to move Brad Keller to the 7th.
Yes, just move everybody down a little bit.
Yeah.
But and that's the other thing. The Cubs went out. As much as they failed to get that kind of older starter like Morton or Kelly, they went out and got 2 old guys for the bullpen. So now you've painted yourself in a bit of a corner. They're good. They're fine. But you've sort of painted yourself in a corner where you can't really move guys in and out. Like you're the 13 pitchers you have now, that's who you have until September.
Oh no, thanks to you have Nate Pearson back. So you
that's right.
You do have the 13th spot can be you can shuttle that to Iowa.
But you got to bring up a starter. You need a starter for Soroka's next term.
It's going to be
my guy Connor Nolan.
Assad,
come on up, please. Or Assad, yes.
I have a hunch that you are never going to see Johnny Long or Connor Nolan play for the Cubs. I just have a hunch.
Who?
All right, crush my dreams already. Why don't you?
Wait, who was the second guy?
Connor Nolan, a pitcher in Iowa who I really like.
Oh. And then Johnny Long, the 5'8" first baseman that he can't wait to come see play for the Cubs.
Why?
He can go. He can go. That's Craig who loves him.
He does. He talks about Johnny Long all the time. That's a Brewer there. That's a guy the Brewers get their hands on. He's going to hit 35 homers. If the Cubs have him, he'll never hit more than 4.
Yeah, that was all right.
But so did Assad he made his last rehab start today? He's ready now.
Is that right?
He's back in the shoot, and then Tyon is supposedly right behind him. My whole thing with Tyon is we were waiting for his back injury, and instead he did a calf. So as soon as he comes back, that's when the back injury.
Might as well exactly. Yep.
Might as well predate his injured list spot. Can you do that? Can you predate it instead of postdate it? He's going to go on the injured list in a week. We've already filled out the forms. Can you just take them? Like what?
Instead of retroactively, it's proactively placed him on the injured list.
I knew we were going to hear that, and we did. It's like, but we're getting Maya and Assad and Tyon. That's like making 3 trades. It's like, no, it's not. They're already on your team. You were counting on them. That's not 3 trades. You were counting on those 3 guys coming back already. You don't get extra credit for that.
Right.
They're not, and it's like, look, I guess Tyon could be that guy who can, again, assuming he doesn't get the back injury, Tyon could be that guy who can give you, 70 innings before the end of the year.
Be better. That's what he's getting paid the big bucks for.
Now you have to. Right, now you have to. Now
at least the Cubs pitching staff also made an addition by subtraction. Bye-bye Ryan Presley.
Yes. It was good. He was good for those 2 months. He was really good for a couple months.
Yeah, he was. And then the last
when you run out, you have to ring out
outings. Yeah.
That's sort of the thing. Once you get the new guys,
he definitely hit his turkey timer at that point.
Yeah.
No. It felt like as Craig was getting more, it felt like they were checking, right? They're like it was like in Jurassic Park. They were the raptors, poking at the electric fence. They were like putting Presley in increasingly higher leverage spots, and then he was starting to get smoked again. And they're like, okay, no, it's not really there. I can't always find 7, 8, 9 for him to pitch to in the 5th inning of games. Like he's going to have to get real guys out, or he doesn't have a spot, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, but it's fine, right? Brujan is gone. It's good to replace those guys. Like that's good. That's good. Just wish they would have had one more.
I thought, Justin Turner would be cut, and then he's probably got job security for the rest of the year after Sunday.
It's not just that, but I think they really appreciate what he does for the younger guys, and he really there is value in that. So
I don't want to go all Bleacher Nation on you. Did you read what they? I mean, so this is what is Turner on the team for? Really, he's on the team to be a pinch hitter and to take some first base at bats against right-handed hitters.
Lefties.
Against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah.
Against lefties this year, he is hitting 292, 338, 472. He has an 810 OPS. And his pinch hitting numbers are fucking ridiculous. I got to find him. He's been really good at those 2 things. The problem you have with him is, when you play him at first, you have an old man playing first base. It gets very nervous over there. But his limitation is just that he's 41 years old, basically. Not that. It is funny though. He got off to a terrible start, and he thought, okay, he's been pretty good since then. It's still wildly bad in April, okay in May, bad in June, bad in July, good in August. But he's been good at 2 things. He's been good at hitting lefty pitchers, and he's been good as a pinch hitter. And that's his job as a pinch hitter. These are his numbers as a pinch hitter: 316, 409, 684.
Holy shit!
Okay.
So you would not have found a better if that was the specific thing you were looking for, the right-handed hitting backup first baseman, pinch hitter. You would have traded a real player to get a guy who probably wasn't doing the job as good as Turner's doing it right now.
True.
So,
are you
fair enough?
Are you still on his baseball
spot.
Reference page right now, by chance?
Yes.
Do you happen to see what his career WAR is now? He has cleared the Harold Baines threshold. He's past Harold Baines at 38.9. Yes. He'll be going into the Hall of Fame as a Cub.
What in his WAR?
You just made Donahue's head explode.
But Harold played forever, right? Came up young with the White Sox.
Yeah. He played for 20 years.
When Turner came to the Dodgers, he was already 29. His career WAR was -3, -7, -9, 7, 5. It was 0. He had 0 WAR until he was 29 years old. So his 38.9 has all come from 29 to 41.
He was real good for those.
He's the Luis Gonzalez of this era.
Do you know how many career walk-off home runs he has now with the one he got against Baltimore?
Is it one?
I can just tell you, we've seen them both.
He
also had the one in the playoffs off last year.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he said after the game.
Okay.
He goes, well, I'm glad Cub fans could enjoy this one.
Oh, yeah.
That was his comment after
all right. You know what?
And I do think, and I am very anti, let's keep the old guy around because he's a good influence. If you can't play, if you're an old guy who can't play, you're a coach. Right. You're not a player.
Right. That's
But the fact that he is contributing, he clearly has like a really good connection with Pete.
Yeah. They're
like buddies, and and there is a video on the Cubs Instagram thing right now of when they were in Japan. They, in the lobby, I guess, of their hotel where they were staying, there was a pair of newlyweds who were like hanging out.
Yes.
Okay.
And Pete and Justin go up and they're talking to them, and the Cub video crew spotted them, so they come over. And the reason newlyweds want to talk to some of the Cubs was they were coming to Chicago for their honeymoon during the summer.
Okay.
So Justin is like, well, when are you coming in the summer? So are you coming to a Cub game? And they're like, kind of like, they're not really sure. They're just kind of nodding. He's like, well, we'll get you tickets. And so one of the Cub guys, you see them hand them a card.
Did the newlyweds know who these guys were? Did they know who Justin Turner, or did they just sort of come up to him?
No, they were there to meet. They were there to see Cubs.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
right.
Got it.
And so then the video cuts to yesterday, maybe.
Okay.
And they're there. They're at Wrigley.
Oh, wow.
And they're on the field, and Pete and Justin are over there talking to them, and they each gave them a jersey, and it was a very nice little wholesome. But the thing you realized is that Pete and Justin are like actually like really. This is not like fake.
Yeah.
We're on. This isn't content. Like this is just two really good guys who were like thought it would be cool if the Japanese couple got to come to Wrigley and meet them, and then they. I'm sure they were tipped off. Like that's who this is because they acted like they just recognized them.
Okay.
They're like, oh, you're here. It's like I have a thing somebody told you go to the field because they're there. It was nice.
That is nice. I mean, Pete seems like he probably shouldn't be, but he really seems like a genuinely down to earth guy.
Yeah. He's super impressive. And he was even like 2 years, even when Ross was using him in all the wrong ways in his crash course 2 years ago, you never got the feeling like, okay, this is going to ruin him. And I'm so sick. And it keeps coming up. There's this whole thing about like, remember when he was 0 for 13 and everybody said he couldn't hit? Yeah. Nobody fucking said he couldn't hit. No. Right. Everybody's like, he wasn't ready. That was the only thing. It's not that he... They act like, these some of the bloggers and shit, and they were like, well, every Cub fan was like, we should get rid of him. He can't play. It's like, nobody fucking said that.
Nobody said that, yeah.
Nobody said that. He was 21, and he was overmatched. And
he missed his first professional season because of injury.
Yeah.
So he started late, and he's still a kid. He's still young, right? He's still 21. And he's only probably had, 2 years he played in the minors. Is he 23 already? Right.
At the time, he was around 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was out of high school, and then first professional season was probably when he was 19. He missed that, and then probably spent a year and a half in the minors, and then he was
22.
up.
He was in 22. He spent the whole year in the minors with the Cubs. In 23, he came up at the end. He's 21. He's 23 now. Somebody, I'm sure, texted him the details of Roman Anthony's new contract, and Pete went, "Oh, mine's more than that." That's what I'm getting.
I think that's a fair contract for him.
Probably very happy with themselves. He didn't take that one extension offer earlier this year.
Well, it was.
The Anthony one is what? It's 180, but it has a bunch of like. It can really be worth like 180.
I think it could be good. Get up to 180 if he hits some accelerators, but I think it
goes into the up to 230 if he hits everything. It's a big deal. It's 130. Never mind. I guess it's 130. It can go to 190. You're right. Okay. Still a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean it's a perfectly fine contract for somebody that good. There's a couple of club options at the end that'll pay him. And I think if you're looking at it, this should be if the Cubs offer Pete Crow this, he should Pete Crow. I'm saying it unironically now. If the Cubs offer Crow Armstrong this contract, he should probably take it.
I would take it if I was him. I'd sign for it.
I would take 10% of it. Yeah.
I'd sign for half that.
Yeah. Oh, I got you outbid.
These greedy kids.
Yeah. But this feels about right. It's good for Roman Anthony. I think Roman Anthony is, Pete is clearly a much better defender. Roman Anthony's a really good, like that guy hit his hard hit rate this year is like over 50%.
He's really
It's
good.
bonkers. Like, yeah, he's really good. But Pete also has an extra year of service time on him. And I think Pete Crow Armstrong has just done a little bit more. Like he's just achieved a little bit more in his major league career. But I think this is a perfectly good contract for him. I'll keep saying it. If the Cubs offer him this, then I think that they'll be in a good spot.
Roman Anthony went to Anthony Rizzo's high school.
Stoneman Douglas?
Right? Was that one of the school shootings?
Yeah, that one. We don't have to go there.
Yeah. I
wonder if he was there.
It happened.
Ooh, maybe, yeah.
No, he's only 21. He was probably only there, I don't know, 6 years ago. Is that right? I guess so. When did that happen?
He was born in 04, so
2018.
That was when he was 14.
Oh,
He would have been a freshman, possibly.
Holy shit, yeah. Oh, wow. Did he transfer in there or something? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so the only thing... I
don't know. I've got his school records on file back there. I can go through them and look. He got a C in geography when he was a junior. I don't know what the fuck was that. Can't find his ass hole on the ground.
Well, he did apply to go to NIU, so I mean, come on, clearly.
Yeah, you can't spell genius without NIU.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Right in the middle.
that's how true that is that I have to think about it for a second.
You can tell we went to, it's like, okay, how do you spell genius? Wait a minute. NIUG? What? No, it doesn't start with the, no, never mind. NIU.
Oh, bad. Yeah, the only thing that the Cubs, you've already used up the two of the pre-arbitration years on Pete, so that's the only that moves everything up.
They didn't use them up. They got sweet deals, is what they got.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is that moves up.
He paid
the
him
contract.
nothing, is what they did.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, we didn't have to pay him for those.
Yeah, well, that moves up the contract.
That should mean you actually you saved. Think how much money you've saved this year on his production. Yeah.
But my point is, with these contracts,
what's a war worth now? Where we sell, it's like it's either $80 million, right?
I remember it used to be. They used to say it'd be worth like $7 million per war.
But the problem with war,
it's be what, a 7-war player this year?
Yeah.
So I think
$56 million.
You could bank some of that theoretical value, and you can
pay
it
my
to
point
him.
is, from Pete's point of view, that moves up the years because now he's a year closer to free agency than Roman Anthony is. And so when you structure the contract, you have to work that into it. Because the idea is that your first couple of years, like Roman Anthony's contract, I don't really see what it started with or what it breaks down to, but it can't be more than $1 million or $2 million in the first couple of years.
Well, if you structure those contracts right, if you're the team, you are rewarding the player by projecting salaries in his ARB years that are probably slightly more than what he would expect now looking at arbitration. But then your reward on the other end is you buy a year or two of his free agency.
Yes, exactly.
At less than what he would cost on the open market.
Exactly.
So both of you end up Pete gets extra money during his ARB years, and he gets the certainty of this long contract. And your value is when he's his first or second year of free agency, he's not a free agent. You have him at a fixed cost.
So the thing with Roman Anthony's contract is that he still becomes a free agent when he's 30-ish. So he could still sign a 9-figure contract. You don't really have that with Pete, because with Pete, you can maybe sign him to a 6-year or 7-year contract, add a couple of free agent years, but you're now accelerating. You're not going to buy out, you're not going to be able to sign him till he's 33. If you do, then you really got to pay for it. Then that's where, the Julio Rodriguez contract comes in. But it just shifts everything by a year for Pete, but still it's a good place to start. The last year might just be a little bit more expensive than Roman Anthony's.
Carter Hawkins wanted me to remind you that he's the one who scouted Julio Ramirez.
I thought it was Jose Ramirez.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you.
Oh, Julio Ramirez. Sorry, I was wrong. Ramirez.
Yeah, Julio Rodriguez.
He also scouted Julio Ramirez too, but he didn't sign him. He was on him. He knew how good he was. He was all over it. couldn't get the Guardians pay up, or probably the Indians at the time. Couldn't get him to do it. But he knew. He's a whiz. I did like when Jed has the press conference that night of the trade deadline is going to haunt me forever, because it was the little half-assed answers Jed was given, and the weird he was doing his weird laugh. But Bruce Levine stops in the middle of a question to go, "Oh, by the way, congratulations on your new contract, because we haven't had a chance to do that." Fuck you! Why the fuck are you congratulating him? Shut up! That's not your job. Do your job.
Really playing to the company line for Marquee there.
He asked him if Carter got an extension.
Oh, jeez.
And Jed's like, "Oh, I wouldn't speak to Carter's contract status." In other words, no, he didn't. But I'm sure he will, because they love mediocre white guys. The Ricketts can't get enough of them.
I saw it was.
Couldn't trade.
Go ahead, Oleg.
I was going to say, yes, they couldn't trade for a mediocre white guy pitcher like Merrill Kelly or Charlie Morton.
Yeah, that was right in their wheelhouse. The guys they love more than anybody.
You would think, right?
I saw so Evan Altman from Cubs Insider.
Yeah.
He made a really good point on Twitter last night when, everyone was kind of ripping Jed after the Kittredge blow up, and the Reds taking the lead there, including me with my very nice I did that Jed sticker that I want posted around. But Evan, I feel like he made a really good point. He said the thing about Jed is that he always struck me as the voice of reason to Theo's aggressiveness. That balance seems to be lacking in the current front office, and I feel like there needs to be someone else there to push the envelope a little. And I feel like that's a really good point, because like Jed and Carter are like basically the same person.
I agree with that.
He's very risk averse. That's a good point.
I do think though that the Jed being the voice of reason is way overstating what Jed's actual influence was. What it seemed like was whenever the Cubs made a bold trade, Jed was the one who said to the media, "Well, I know." He basically poo-pooed that like we were being reckless with this. Theo wasn't listening. Jed couldn't talk Theo out of shit.
No,
if Theo wanted to do it, Theo was going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think you find with the better general managers that being aggressive is better than being what Jed is. Yes, you're going to fuck up a trade once in a while, but you're never going to get a really good one if you're constantly like sitting there weighing the long. Oh, I don't know about this. It's at some point you have to like channel your inner Jim Hendry and go, fuck it, we need this guy. We're going to pay what it costs to get this guy, and they just wouldn't do it.
And
so
this goes
I messaged John Greenberg because he was at that press conference. I messaged him because he had asked about and I just said I messaged John and said, Henry would have got him a starter.
Yeah.
They have a fucking starter. They'd be talking about it right now. The prospect perverts would be going nuts about what they gave up. And he's like, yeah, he would have got a really good starter for like Sean Gallagher and 4 12-year-olds.
And Corey Patterson's little brother. Yeah.
But this goes back to the point that you were making about what's a win worth, right? What's the salary for a WAR? And that there's sort of, I think, a new feeling that the higher the WAR is, like Pete's value is more than $8 million per win. Like that's
right. Like it compounds.
The better you are, it's a hockey stick because it's exponential.
And it does make sense because it's easy. And the Cubs, most of their team is made of like 1 and 2 WAR players.
Well,
and then the reason that it works and it worked and it will eventually once Kyle Tucker gets his head out of his ass is you had these like really good solid players,
right? Plus
Pete and Kyle.
Yeah.
And it allowed a guy like when Seiya goes crazy in the first half, that's just like extra value.
Yep. And that's the thing, right? Is that those 5 WAR players are worth $50 million. The 2 WAR players may only be worth $15 million. Right. So it's just not linear.
Well, and that brings a point that a few weeks ago, the roundtable guys were talking about the Cubs, and they were talking about how Jed Hoyer, the Cubs are winning, but Jed built the team wrong. Like the things he's doing that are working aren't supposed to. You don't build this team with this value. It's like the worst thing. Other general managers tell you the worst thing to do is to pay like $18 million over 4 years for a slightly above league average starting pitcher.
Yeah,
and that's Jameson Taillon, and it has worked. But they said that's fine if you do that, but then they were giving him credit for finally going out and getting Kyle Tucker. Like you can be this big market team that shops on the discount rack, but every once in a while you have to go get a big ticket item. And until then, he'd never bothered to do it. He was just trying to build this team out of, it's like it's like, okay, Jed, honestly, you'd be better off picking the other lane, which is spending less on guys that you scout the shit out of, instead of, well, this guy's been solid for a few years. We'll reward him for that, and we'll bloat our payroll with with mediocre players, which is what they do. That's
how you wind up with Dan Swanson for 7 years.
Are overpaid white dudes. That's what he's built the team around.
Yeah.
And you see how frail it is when Kyle Tucker all of a sudden doesn't play like the best player in the National League, and you can't score a fucking run. And it's like, I tweeted, I blue skied it or whatever yesterday. People are already like, well, what's this Cub offense going to look like next year without Kyle Tucker? This is it. This is what it's going to look like. They're going to struggle to consistently score runs again once you take him out of there. And people are like, see, he's costing himself a lot of money. I would say that he's almost unintentionally proving what his value really is, because when he slumps just a little bit, the whole fucking thing falls apart.
How'd you like that sack bunt from him on Sunday? I actually kind of liked it a little bit, because I feel like it kind of reset. I feel it was maybe like just a little bit of a mental reset for him, and he actually wound up having a pretty good day that day, because he got 2 hits after that. I thought that maybe might have sparked something,
then he should have gotten the day off. Like, if you need a bunt to reset you, if you need a first inning sacrifice bunt to reset,
it brought to mind all the great bunts in Cub history, like Nomar bunting in that last week game against the Reds, that second 12th inning loss in a row. Where he bunted Jose Macias from second to third with 1 out in the 12th.
Was that the was that the prior 16 strikeout game? Was that the prior 16 strikeout game? I'm trying to think, because I know that was right in that same
one of those two was. They lost two 12-inning games in a row. Then there was Neffy bunting with a runner at third and 2 outs to end a game. And then my personal favorite, Doug DeCenzo bunting on Rob Dibble, and Rob intentionally throwing it at his legs because he was so mad that Doug DeCenzo had bunted at him. Got himself thrown out of the game for whipping a ball at the tiniest player on the field. But guys, I don't think Kyle Tucker's really struggling all that bad. This is fine, right? Since July 1st, he's hitting 208 with a 353 on base and a 271 slug.
A pretty good on base percentage.
3 doubles and a homer in 96
that's
at
not
bats.
great. Not great.
No. But
353. Honestly, should you lead him off for a while? It's what we did with the salvaged value of Hap last year. That's what they did.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much: I would not be mad if Kyle Tucker had Friday off.
Give him 3 days to
give him 3 days.
Heal up the finger
next Saturday, and let's go. Yeah,
Cardinals are ass. You should be able to beat. You should be able to give him the weekend off. Essentially, send him up to Lake Lawn Lodge, like when Leo DeRocha fucked off to go on a honeymoon in the middle of the season.
Just have him go all the way to Toronto right now. Meet him when they play the Blue Jays.
And just we can handle it. It's the Cardinals. We can handle this without you, Kyle. We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah,
that's true. Man,
the funny thing is we don't know which injury is it. Is it the finger? Because then he also the Tuesday night before we went to the game, he was bashing a ball off of it just below his kneecap. It's like
he just needs a good reset, which is totally fine and all good.
By the way, speaking of the game we went to, Oleg, you can officially give me whatever I told you so for all the talk from me about trading Miguel Amaya, because I know that really enraged you that entire time.
Oh God, what the? Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I mean we went over it on the podcast too. Carson Kelly blows, right? He's back to.
He does not blow. Kelly. Come on.
I'm gonna do it again. I enjoy looking at Carson's numbers since the incredible start. Let's see.
You could do him since July 1st.
He's turned it back. No, July has been a good month for Carson Kelly.
You don't have to go. You can go all the way back to since. This isn't terrible, but it's not. These were his last 63 games. 246, 328, 401, 7 homers, 18 RBIs. It's funny.
From a that's fine.
Right, but it's so frustrating because he was so unbelievably hot at the beginning of the season that despite that, his OPS is 846. And that's what Craig is. Yes, that's his current. It's ridiculous because he's been like a 700 or 680 OPS or ever since. And Craig still sticks him right in the middle of the lineup, it's almost like he looks at the scoreboard and he's like, "Well, look at that number. That's pretty good." It's like, no, that's not. That's not him.
That's not reality.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's Nafy after friggin' May of 2005.
Hey, Neffy. I don't want to spoil where Neffy ranked in our all-time Cubs second baseman. because he did play. He did
you had him
one
listed as a
season.
second baseman. Okay.
He was the primary second baseman one season for the Cubs.
Yeah.
But number one, he right ahead of Ryne.
You have to.
We ranked him. Yeah. I mean, we were realistic about it.
Hey, you know what?
You have to, if you consider how many seasons.
We couldn't just go into sentiment. Oh yeah, Ryne Sandberg. Everybody like Ryne.
Yeah.
We just died. We're like, no, we're gonna take a clear-eyed look at this.
You got to be
almost as good as Nephi Perez.
Yeah.
That home run that he hit for the Giants, for the Rockies against the Giants, was more valuable than anything Ryne Sandberg ever did as a Cub.
Well,
Sorry, I'm probably going to hell after saying that now.
Yeah,
what did Ryne Sandberg do for the '98 Cubs? Nothing.
Right.
He didn't.
This is true. This is true.
How many seasons did Ryne Sandberg save?
He didn't save any.
Right. So there you go.
That's a good point.
I think you're onto something, Andy.
If he wasn't out in the bleachers in '95 and he was actually on the field,
yeah, I don't think it would help.
Are you saying that Cindy wouldn't have? I'll be glad.
Actually, big win in the wild card standings today for the Cubs.
What's
the
that?
Reds could have pulled within 2 games of the final wild card spot. With a win today. So they're back to 4.
Keep them at bay.
Well,
keep them at bay.
Today was also, they came into it tied for the season series 4-4. Cubs.
Oh, well, it could be. It's ridiculous that we might be looking at that stuff. We could very well be looking at it if all hell goes.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, here's the thing. Since the All-Star break, the Cubs are still 9-9. There are 500 teams since the All-Star break.
Well, that's funny. So like our buddy Chuck, keeps retweeting like at the Cubs high water mark. Like early in the year, they were 14 games over, and he's like, most teams who have a good record, that's what happens. It would be like if he was a Brewer fan in a month, he'd be going, for 60 games, they were 34 games over and they've been 2 under since. This is their level. It's like, no, most teams who have a good record have like one huge like stretch where they're really good. And then they're there are a few games, good teams, there are a few games over 500 in the other games. And then they end up like 28 games over 500. That's how that works.
Yeah.
It's so funny that he just keeps reposting it.
Right.
It's like you're not proving anything. I don't know what you're trying to prove.
The 2016 Cubs in those 20 games before the All-Star break, famously were 10 games under 500 for 20 games.
I'm sure he was tweeting it back then. They were 25-6 at one point. Now look at
them. Right, yeah.
It's like, you're right. I thought they were going to win 25 out of every 34 games the entire season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they're not, like, the Cubs are still fine. And there is something to be said for getting some guys back and getting some guys healthy, and now you can cover some innings. Yeah. So they are what they are. Would just be nice if the frickin' Brewers would ever lose a game. And it just so happened that, Tucker and Seiya kind of, hit the shits at the same time.
I guess the one thing we can lament with the Cubs against the Brewers is that I think they account for about like 25% of their losses for a pretty decent stretch with 2 of them.
The Cubs, say that again. The Cubs count
the Cubs by beating the Brewers account for about because they simply just don't lose.
36-14. Yeah, well, whatever.
Well, the Cubs have, with the win today, they're the second best record in the National League again. That's how bad they are. But they only have the second best run differential because the Brewers have raced past them.
That's true.
Is that right?
I don't know what they're doing. They're pouring it on, probably. I'm sure against Atlanta tonight. They're 11 runs. Their run differential plus 126. Cubs is plus 115.
Right.
Those two are by far and away the best in baseball. Nobody else is even close to 100.
The Brewers had a weekend reminiscent of the 2023 Cubs when they were in Oakland against the Nationals this past weekend, where every game was like 15-3.
In Colorado? Was Milwaukee in Colorado?
No, in Washington against the Nationals.
Oh, in Washington. That's right. Yeah.
The Nats have packed it up.
Clearly, the Nationals would have put up a better fight if they still had Mike Soroka.
Well, they probably if they didn't have. If they owned Casey.
What if they had Matt Shaw and Cade Horton?
Yeah.
There you go. Shoot.
The Cubs.
See, this is okay.
They probably would have.
We didn't think outside the box with this.
The Cubs would be tied for first. Way to go, Jed.
Yeah.
Should have been looking at the schedule the whole time.
I will say, I am glad that Jed did not trade Matt Shaw nor Cade Horton.
I am in agreement with you.
But Like I said, I just want to stress this point. I think it's very clear what the market thinks of Owen Casey.
Yeah, that much. That's
and
what
Kevin Alcantara. Yeah. And I don't, and that's the other thing. Like, I know that there are these rumors that they didn't want to trade Ballesteros. I don't know if I buy that very much.
No, that's what he doesn't have a position. I mean,
right. There's value.
I wouldn't give him away.
The DH. Yeah, I wouldn't give him away.
It's hard to like project what is his long-term future with the Cubs if he doesn't like somehow become a catcher.
Well, Hap's only got 1 year left after this year. So he puts you resign Say, you put him in left. You're just gonna
have like the 34-year-old. The 22-year-old. He's gonna be a DH for his entire life.
Who cares?
No, he will be an upgrade in left field over Ian Happ. Clearly,
he probably would be if they put him out there right now. The Brewers' upcoming schedule: they go play the Mets this weekend, or they go home and they play the Mets, and then they get the Pirates. And Paul Steen's is scheduled to pitch all 3 games. I don't know how he's going to do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Then their road trip, they go to the Reds for 3, then they come to the Cubs for 5. Very reminiscent of the 2003 Cubs Cardinals 5 games in 4 days.
I'll be there for the first game of that.
Then they go home to play the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Then they've got the Blue Jays. So they had enjoyed a pretty cush schedule. Then the Phillies. Then the Rangers.
Okay, some hard ones in there.
Their second to last series of the year is in San Diego. So enjoy it while you can, Brewers fans, all 9 of you.
Yeah, there you go. Correct me if I'm wrong. They finish with the Reds, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw a lot of like doom and gloom Cubs fans last night, lamenting the fact that like the Reds might pass up the Cubs, and then it's all going to come down to that last series of the year, and the Brewers are just going to not have anything left to play for. And
anybody who's worrying about that on the fucking 5th of August, just block all of them. I still can't bring myself to scoreboard watch. It's like, who gives a shit? There's 2 months to go. It's a complete. I know Praz has been doing it since May. He's been rooting for the Brewers to lose every night. Oh my god.
Okay. In fairness, I only do it in May just because I hate the Brewers and because I hate the Cardinals. I'm just doing it because I want to see those teams lose.
I always enjoy watching the Cardinals lose, and I like the fact that this Cardinal team will go on these long stretches where they almost got shut out an entire series for the second time. They've already done it once this year. They can go on these long stretches where they can't score a fucking run, and it's just great.
It is great. It's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with wanting the Brewers to lose in May. I'm with you, Andy. I can't. First of all, because you know that this streak has happened, and you're a rational Cubs fan, or you're a rational baseball fan.
When I'm down here, I have the Cub game when they're at night. I have the Cub game on the big TV, and I have Big Inning on the little they're both the same size on the other TV. But I'm watching Big Inning, and I'm 99%. It's just looking for my fantasy players. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
I'm not in that mode yet, worrying about who's winning and who's losing.
Once in a while, I'll turn on the game if I have a starter going. I'll turn on that game. But yeah, generally speaking, for me to put on a non-big inning, during big inning, for me to put on a non-big inning game, I have to have probably at least 3 or 4 players in my various fantasy leagues playing.
I will do it for certain. Well, especially once big inning ends.
Yeah.
Then I will look for an announcing team I like. So it'd be Kuiper and Kuko. Or the crazy guys Don Orsillo and Mark Grant in San Diego.
Yeah,
and there's certain guys I will avoid. I will not listen. You cannot force me to listen to the Diamondbacks TV crew. Nope. You cannot make. You could not make me do that.
Yep, pretty much the same. I don't like the Pirates guys. I really don't like the Pirates radio guys.
The only good thing about the Pirates TV booth is I do like the call of when they win and the guy saying "Raise the Jolly Roger," but that guy is so freaking milquetoast.
He only gets to do it 38 times a year too. So
that's true. That's true.
Got a lot of pent up energy.
I got to watch the Cubs play the White Sox, so I got to listen to the White Sox broadcast.
With John Schriffen?
God, that was awful. Oh, man, that was awful.
Yeah, he's, kind of seeing a lot of similarities between him and our guy Thumbo.
Dude, Thumbo. Oh, man. The other day, I was, so it was on Big Inning, so I got to hear Thumbo asking Jim DeShays, I don't know if you remember this, he was talking to Jim DeShays about guys who, going out to dinner as a rookie. And try to get him to admit that he was hazed or paying for dinner and stuff. And DeShays was having none of it.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoy is Jim will very often, Thumbo will ask him a question and Jim will just answer no.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like a conversation starter, like, hey, let's do, but he always phrases them as yes or no questions. A lot of times Jim won't want to talk about it. He'd be like, no. It's like, so what do you think about, I remember in Tokyo, he asked him about like, well, he was asking him to like evaluate Matt Shaw. And Jim's like, we've seen him play twice. I'd kind of like to see him play some more before we worry about any of this.
Matt Shaw is very short. He's a good looking man.
The one thing that Cohen and Deshaies like bond over is probably like one of the things that Deshaies you would think would least want to talk about is like, you've heard the story a few times on broadcast recently of the fact that Deshaies, his last career game was against the Cubs, and he like knew that it would be his last career game that morning because of like the conditions with the weather that day, because like the heat wave in Chicago in '95.
Yeah, he's told that story with Boog a bunch of times too, and with Len. So it's just, that's like one of his like go-tos. So he's more than he's just used to. He does kind of go into, I think with Thumbo, I think he tunes Alex out a lot.
Yeah.
And so he's got like, he kind of just goes into like, one of my 15 stories that I can just tell to fill time, and I'll just give one to Alex, and he'll feel real special that I'm talking to him, but I'm just not really paying any attention to him.
Yeah, but it was kind of Deshaies. And then he mentioned Billy Doran. You never had to pay for a meal when Billy Doran was at dinner with you. Like, great story.
Billy Doran.
Like it was just kind of what's it? Alex Cohen, is that his name?
Yeah, Alex Cohen.
Like he just kept like, because now I keep calling him Thumbo, and I feel like I'm stealing it from you.
No, it's fine. I like it when people ask me like, why do you call him Thumbo? And I just say it's very nuanced. He's dumb and he looks like a thumb, and other people are immediately like, oh, that's great. Yeah, well, that's the idea. That's the idea.
But like he kept asking, like he's like, well, what would happen when you were a rookie and you went out to dinner? He's like, well, usually one of the veterans would pick up the check. Like, you never had to pick up the check. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like it was, I didn't say that, but it's like I don't know what to like. Yeah. I don't know what you want to say.
Oh, I remember Estrada threw like 101 mile an hour pitch, and Alex Cohen goes, "Oh, it's amazing how commonplace it is to see a guy throw 100 miles an hour now. Back when you pitched, like almost nobody did it." And Deshaies is like, "Well, I pitched with Nolan Ryan."
There's this guy that I was teammates with. You may have heard of him.
I may have seen it a few times, Alex. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh man.
One thing so the Soroka thing, that was Monday night, right? So it just amazes me the way Marquee covers the games they're in. So when we get to the top of the third and he's not going back out, we see Ben Brown on the mound. Marquee then shows us like Soroka talking to the trainer you show him like coming off the field at the end of the top of the second, talking to the trainer, and then going down into the clubhouse. And then clearly we know Marquee has a camera in the bullpen, so they could see that Ben Brown was warming up. Why was it like a shock to everybody then? Like, shouldn't they have been covering it then? Yeah. Like in the bottom of the second, shouldn't they have showed us, it looks like Soroka might be hurt and Ben Brown is warming up in the bullpen? And they didn't bother to do any of it. And they do a lot of that shit. And then somebody else pointed out, like, also, Elise is sitting in the dugout. Like, you could have gone to her and said,
yes, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, but they didn't. And we get that shit all the time. It really annoys me. They act like Boog is the worst at this. So, like, there'll be a pitching change, and he won't tell us who's coming in. They just go to commercial. They're so bad about it. It's like they forget that they could actually show us who's warming up. But then, so like Craig will come out, he'll make a pitching change, and they just, that's it for him, and they go right to commercial. And you're sitting there like, well, who the fuck? Would it be nice to have known who was coming in to the game? It's the little things that it's like they intentionally do that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like with Zaidman when he describes the play before he tells you what the result of the play is. It's maddening. He did it today. Was it Dansby who made some awesome diving play today? Today, Wednesday. Sorry.
Probably.
I think it was. And so he like spends a good 3 seconds describing the play before telling us that the runner was thrown out of first base.
Yeah.
It's like, do the result, then describe the play.
Yep. Completely basic.
You know what I noticed that he did today too? Is he will say like for like a pop-up, he'll be like towering fly ball, and it'll be a ball that like doesn't even leave the infield. You're thinking this thing is like scraping off the ivy possibly, and
my dad used to complain about Tom Brenneman on the radio calling foul balls with he hits one hard to right field. That one is going to reach the seats. And Dad's like, well, you're leaving out a key piece of information.
What
if
side
it's
of the
fair,
foul pole?
That's a problem. If it's foul, which it seems like it is because you're not excited, then it's probably harmless. But you might want to tell us. I mean, the worst, and I think I'm gonna let Donnie go off on it for 20 minutes. I don't remember this crap at some point. Is Boog's call of a foul tip is foul tip into the mitt. Yes, of course it is. And Deshays this year explained the rule to him. He basically, because he's like, foul tip fell out of his mitt, and Jim's like, well, no, that's just a foul ball. That's not a foul tip. It's only a foul tip if he catches it. You have to catch the ball for it to be a foul tip. And Boog's like, oh yeah, that's a good point. And the next one, foul tip into the mitt. It's like, oh Jesus Christ, he just told you. No. You don't have to say into the mitt. It's the reason it's a foul tip.
It's implied. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a foul tip if he doesn't catch it. It's just a foul ball.
Yes. Right. I have friends who now make fun of me for that. They're like, hey, look at that foul tip into the mitt. I'm like, shut up.
So on Saturday, I was doing some yard stuff. So I was like, well, I'm going to make sure I head into. I want to see the beginning of the game because they were going to do some. They did some Ryne stuff on Friday, but the Saturday one was going to be they were going to wear the blue jerseys, and I thought that's going to be a nice touch. That's going to be cool. But I got distracted. I didn't come down till like the top of the second, and I can tell you what my reaction was when I turned the TV on. I just went, "What the fuck is this? This is not what you said you were going to do." This is bullshit. So what they did was they made the announcement they were going to wear the iconic blue jerseys.
Yeah.
Which is right. And I was like, I can't believe they could. I'm like, I'm really impressed that they were somehow able. I mean, I know they've been getting us ready for like 6 weeks that Ryne was dying. We knew that. Yeah, so I thought they must have actually planned ahead, and to honor him, they had the 84 style jerseys made, and they're going to wear the blue 23s. Yeah. Oh, the navy, the ones I grew up with. It's like the softball jersey.
Yeah.
You turn on the TV, and all it is the stupid regular alternate blue one with 23 with no name on the back of it. And I'm like, that's just so half-assed. Yeah, why wouldn't you then, that's fine. You couldn't get those. Who cares? Why aren't you wearing the pinstripes? Why isn't everybody wearing the pinstripes with 23 on it? Exactly. It's the home jersey he wore for every single game that he played for you. Why are we doing this thing that in 97, it was the first year they had the alternate one, and they only wore it like 8 times or whatever it was, and I think they only wore it on the road. It's like, this is not, but it had the Motorola patch on it, at least. The most important thing. They had the jersey sponsor patch on it. And it was like, this is so typically Cub, which is, they did so many they did some really cool things. Like the video tribute to him was really good. I really liked the fact they had Sutcliffe and Jody Davis take second base out before the game and stick it in the ground. That was really cool. And then you get to the thing that you promoted. You made such a huge deal out of it, and then it's that. And you're just like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Why even bother?
Yeah. And that is probably the worst uniform combo. That the Cubs, they don't use it often, thankfully, but I know they used to a lot. I know Carlos Zambrano, he would always pick that uniform for his home starts.
And Matt Clement. So it used to happen 40% of home starts. The Cubs wore the stupid blue top it looks terrible with the pinstripe pants. It looks awful. And then the Ricketts family got rid of it. The pitchers weren't picking anymore. But it's weird when Adbert Alzolay made his major league debut. He played against the Mets. 2 games in that series, they wore the blue jerseys with the pinstripe pants, and they never did it again. They hadn't done it for 2 years, and they never did it again. And I always wondered if one of the clubbies fucked up the laundry. And they're like, guys, we don't have enough clean pinstripe.
See,
can they wear the blues tonight? Because it came out of nowhere, and then it just disappeared. They never did it again.
See, to bring it full circle, this is why the Cubs should have traded for Chris Sale. He could have cut them all up.
Yeah, he would have seen
exactly.
those and went, and it would have just
fuck that.
That's what Nico should have done. Nico wore the flip down sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, that was nice.
And it was, not that it was intentional or anything, that the first ball put in play of the game was hit to second base for now.
Yeah. I learned apparently that. Oh, sorry. Keep going about this because I'm going to. Well,
if we're going to change time, I was just going to say Sutcliffe was talking about. He was getting interviewed by somebody, and he was going on about, Ryne really loved this team, and there's so many guys just like him. Nico Horner reminds me a lot of Ryne Sandberg, and I really like this Matt Shaw kid. You look at him, and he's taking him. But the guy who reminds me the most of Ryne Sandberg on that team is Ian Happ. And I went, fuck off, Rick, shut up, shut up. Don't you have little league stories about Ryder to tell instead of this? I'd rather hear that.
To be fair, they do have similar personality.
But that's actually what he was talking about.
Okay.
Was that
All
Ian
Like,
wouldn't say shit with a mouthful, just like Ron.
Right.
That's basically
Right.
what he was saying. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, but just don't do that. Don't equate the two. Okay, sorry.
Apparently, that's apparently what I learned was that the Cleveland Guardians, keep asking MLB if they could wear Larry Doby's number.
It's terrible that they haven't been able to do that.
Awful.
It's unbelievable.
Like the fact that
is it because of something with like bringing back like Chief Wahoo or something? Or
no,
they've been doing it for a long time. They did it back when they were still the Indians.
Yeah,
so it's not the thing. And I think they would just wear Cleveland. I don't think they're never Chief. They have vowed Chief Wahoo's never going to appear on the field again on a uniform.
Right.
But yeah, they've asked multiple times because Larry was the first black player in the American League. It's not like it's just like well, he was our first black player, which would still be worthy of it.
Right.
This is the Jackie Robinson of the American League.
Right.
And MLB has been like, no, we don't want to do that because that'll start, what if other teams want to do it? Why would that be bad?
So
let everybody do it.
It's once a year, if that, maybe once every couple of years.
Actually, wouldn't it be cool if like next year on Jackie Robinson Day, what every team did was they wore the number of the first black player on for their franchise.
So like all the Cubs,
every Cub in 14,
like that.
Ernie was the first one.
So that would be awesome.
And then fans might actually learn who the first black player was, and then Red Sox fans might ask why it took Pumpsy Green. It was like Pumpsy Green, 10 years after everybody else.
To be fair,
how come our first black player was Pokey Reese?
To be fair, to beat out the Boston racist stereotype, Pumpsy Green was not the first black player in Boston because when the Braves were still there, they added a black player first. Sam Jethro. So it's the Red Sox who are the real racists here.
Why not to spoil, but we talk about the second black player in Cubs history on our Remember This Crap second base.
Gene Baker?
Gene was actually signed before Ernie, but Ernie played in the game before Gene did. They got him, and Mike says the exact truth. They signed two, so they didn't want
room together.
It was so they'd room together, so a white guy wouldn't have to room with the black guy.
That would.
Oh boy,
boy's right.
All right. Well, sure, when we do this in 2 weeks, Cubs will be right back in first place.
Yeah, everything will
be fine.
Hey.
Brewers will have lost 9 in a row.
It'll be
this
right
will
on
be
the
during
that big
Brewers series, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Let's have some fun. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Paz.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Many of us have herpes.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. I mean, got to congratulate the Dolan family.
Thank you. Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much.
Awesome.